we will talk about the production a little bit, because production most of the time disconnects with the cost. P times Q, right? And then minus the cost, or the total cost. Oh, where's the production? This Q is the production. Okay, actually the total cost is also the production. I will show you the difference in a minute. The cost function is a function of Q. The C is a function of Q. This Q, this is the quantity we can produce, or this is the quantity we can sell, right? But usually we assume we produce this much and then we can sell this 100%. This is the idea. So in this profit function, you see Q is here, and then Q is also here in the total cost function. You will see production is a function, like we talk about to transform the resource in an efficient and effective way, try to achieve the goal, right? So this is our management practice, managerial activities. This function tells us the story, okay? So natural resource, labor, capital, financial capital, human capital. Actually labor and capital are different. Labor and human capital are two different things, right? Okay. Technology, see, everything's there. This E can be the efficiency, okay? Productivity. Usually, I like to call this productivity. Every company, we have a different Q, right? Different production function, okay? We turn those inputs, or we call those factors, to the output. This is Q. A good manager, you contribute to this function. And then this will also somehow affect this natural resource usage, labor usage, capital usage, technology usage. This function will affect our cost structure. If we talk about how we reduce the cost, how we minimize the cost. If I draw this line, as you can see, at least this is not a straight line. For sure, production function is not a straight line. All right, so you will see this is more like a cubic form. Why? Our production is increasing at the increasing rate, and then increasing at the decreasing rate, and then decreasing. This is production function. Our productivity increase very strong, okay? And then it will slow down. Our productivity will slow down. That means our company, our operation become too big. It become less productive. Actually, although I don't know the exact point or the quantity, I should find the Q star. But since I don't know yet, I assume the profit maximizing area will be here. The productivity, usually we don't say that. We say MP, marginal product or marginal production, okay? Increasing until the top, until the highest production or the marginal production. And then we know this is the area, all right? We will locate our production in that area. The Q star will be in this gray area, right? So we needed to find a production output level around this corner. Anyway, there are easy way to define this Q star. We switch this production, the Q production function, to the cost function. Okay, so the idea behind that is once we solve this problem, we want to have the max Q. This is the maximize the production, right? But don't forget, we still subject to in the consumption. We talk about the budget constraint, but here we talk about the total cost. What is the total cost? The total cost is labor, technology, capital, right? A lot of total cost. This is a fun. So usually we say, hey, let's fix the total cost, similar to the budget constraint, right? We fix the total cost and then maximize the quantity. This is a little difficult to understand, right? But I want to flip it over. My students know that I like to flip it over, make it minimize the total cost. And we try to subject it to a predefined quantity. We have our production plan first, and then we try to minimize the cost, minimize the total cost. And then production function will become the total cost function. So this is the C. Retrieved, or we derived this cost function. Usually the cost function is a cubic form. Once we have this, and then we can start to measure, okay? We can start to measure our, let's say, optimized output level. So we use the price, usually we use the price to find the economic efficiency, okay? Price for the agribusiness company, price is equal to the marginal revenue. And then once we make this equal to the marginal cost, we'll find the Q star. This is the logic behind. I don't know, I don't want you to go that deep, but I want you to understand marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. This is the optimized output. This is where we find the Q star. I will scroll down to another slide, try to make you understand a little bit better. Once we have this total cost, we derive the total cost function, okay? We take the derivative, right? We can have the marginal cost. This is the MC, okay? And then we try to find the MC equal to price. This is the market price. This is the marginal revenue as well. And then we know, for example, in this case, they know, oh, this is 110 is what we try to find. The marginal revenue equal or very close to marginal costs, okay? Some students are like, hey, no, stop. It is not equal, right? 1,300 is not equal to 600. But see, the point is, I have to say, the range, all right? This is the range, okay? So start from this increase from 500 to 1,300. This increase from this stays for 600. Could you find a point between them? But I would choose to simplify. If you say 120, I say yes, good answer. If you say 110, yes, it is also a good answer. You cannot produce that accurate output level, right? You know, when we do this in this classroom, we do the calculation, we can do that. But in the reality, 110, 120, no big difference. The very last one is we need to make our production decision. We know we have the total cost function. We can draw this diagram. And then we can derive this total cost function. We can get our marginal cost, okay? This is important. We also know our average total cost, average variable cost. So if we are selling on the market, for example, strawberry, blueberry, we sell it at, for example, a price of $10. And then this is the P, this is the marginal revenue. You try to find a point here. This will give you the Q star. Pretty much that means we can produce at 80 as the manager. You cannot work this backward, right? Oh, you say, oh, it is the time. All right, so this is the harvest time. And then we can produce 80. Let's produce 80. Your decision should be made months ago or half year ago, right? Or even 1 year ago. This is our planning. The timing is very important. But you needed to know this 1 year before when you make the planning, when you make the decision. This is the challenge for the manager, okay? From the economic perspective, see, read this diagram, you can find the point, right? Problem solved. But in reality, as the manager, you think that's simple? 1 year ago, how you get those information? Probably you know your cost, right? But how do you know the price? You don't know the price, but you still need to estimate the price, forecast the price. So you remember, I like to say prediction for speculation if you engage in the financial market, or prediction for production decision, production planning. That means that I highlighted the, the time that when you should make this decision. It should be months ago, 1 year ago. Okay, so this is we call it the planning. Okay, so we will mention about planning later, but this is the idea. This is the economic concept you need to have. Again, I already make the assumption, very strong assumption. our agribusiness are facing a completely competitive market, perfect competition. So that's why this P is a horizontal line, and then P is the marginal revenue. That means our agribusiness company is one of many. We sell at the market price. We are the price taker. We haven't talked about the supply, right? We have talked about the production. Your company's production, other company's production, add together, this will become the market supply, upward sloping supply curve. Since the market is the big one, the big market, we will see this supply curve is upward sloping. But this is still by adding up all the individual companies' supply. I should start to talk about the price elasticity of supply. No, I don't want to do that, because for your company, you already know your output, your optimized output. What you need to focus is the market elasticity, or the market demand, or the price elasticity of demand. Right? This is really, you are facing customer first. You know there is a line, but actually you should pay more attention, really pay more attention to this market demand. This is the market demand. Demand curve you are facing, is it a horizontal line, or is it a very tiny, small, flat, line? Very different scale, huh? This can be very tiny, small amount, but this is the market demand. It has huge amount. I hope you don't get confused. I think I will not assign a lot of homework this week. Very last piece, okay? Very last two pieces. One is, we know the supply curve can also shift. So if I show you the supply function, we had the general demand function. Now I show you the general supply function. You will know what I'm talking about. There are factors for the supply. So don't be confused with the production function. One is for your individual production. You transform the resource to the output, to the Q. But this is more about the supply. This will be affected by other things, not the input, right? But the other market factors. What market factors? Price. Substitute the product price, complement goods price. Technology. F means the number of factories, number of competitors. Those the P could be, this also could be the input price. Direct supply function, right? Direct supply function. And then if this change, this P change or Q change, we will have this moving along. This stands for this moving along this curve, right? This is the P, this is the Q. Other factors change. That means it's the shifting. For example, we are producing strawberry, but we need to transport. We need a lot of energy. Let's say we use a lot of energy, gas, okay? Gas price go up. That means our production go in that direction. It doesn't necessarily reduce of our quantity. We should sell higher price. Go to the grocery store. You will see since inflation, since the energy price go up, we have all the milk price, meat price, fruit price, whatever price go up, right? Quantity doesn't change, but the price go up. The sales price, the selling price go up. Okay, this is the idea. But if the other way around, that means if we have more producers, right, we will have the supply shifted to the right. That means usually, I call this increase of supply. This I call decrease of supply, but you can interpret it in a different way. Decrease the supply or increase the price, okay?